Hello, Abnormal Investigations. I have a encounter for y'all. This one I will probably put a warning on because a lot of people have trouble with attacks and stuff. And, well, this one here is supposedly an attack that happened, so I want to go ahead and caution you at the beginning. I recently moved up north. I'd rather not say where. I will tell you that it snows every other day there. The snow is rarely ever catastrophic unless there's a blizzard. So as long as you've got a decent weatherized truck, you can still get around. Toward the end of 2015, a blizzard did come through. It wasn't anything record-breaking, but it was enough to trap me inside my home for a week. God, what a week that was. That week started out fine. I was ready for a bit of vacation. Obviously, I couldn't get to work if I couldn't even open my front door. So I was planning on enjoying myself being lazy, probably just playing games and watching movies. I must have fallen asleep on the couch. Kinda hard not to, with the space heater right next to me. I was jolted awake by a loud thump. Half asleep, I sat up and looked around, wondering what in the hell had just fell down and what might have made the noise. Then I heard more thumping. It was quieter than before, but I could hear it plain as day. Someone was walking around on my roof. At first, I thought it was a squirrel that had jumped down from a tree, but these seemed heavier. I went upstairs to grab my gun just in case, but midway up the staircase, the noises stopped. So I calmed down a little bit, then went back to downstairs for a while, nestling back into my warm spot on the couch. I quickly fell asleep. When I woke up, I got a snack from the fridge and decided to head up to my room upstairs and hop on the treadmill. I noticed as I stepped onto the second floor, it was freezing cold. I could feel a breeze. I opened my bedroom door to see the sliding glass door to the balcony wide open. Worst of all, there were tracks in my room. Massive tracks of clawed animal. It looked like there were 4 toes and paw pads. Now that I actually started paying attention, I could see the tracks enter the hallway and onto the staircase. At this point, they had completely melted away. I stood there at the top of the staircase, wondering what the hell entered my home, wondering if it was still there. Running back to my room, I grabbed my gun and I locked the door. I started to shut and lock the glass door, but the thought of it possibly trapping myself inside with a wild animal scared the hell out of me. I kept it open. For an hour, I'd just sit on the edge of my bed, hoping that it was really just a big-ass squirrel that got curious and wandered inside. Eventually, the sun set, and night fell. Nothing happened. I got up and walked over to the balcony. It was way too cold to keep it open any longer. Before I shut it, I stepped out and looked over the railing. I don't know why I did, but I saw, and what I saw below me I will never forget. There was something walking around my house. It stood over the top of my windows, which had to have been 7 or 8 feet tall. It walked quietly, like it was looking for something. It would stop at the windows as if it was peering inside. The light was still on in my living room, and I could make out the details of the face. It was covered in scruffy fur like mangy dog, and it even had a snout of a wolf. Just looking at the thing scared the F out of me. I had my rifle on me, but I was not about to accidentally miss and get that thing's attention. So I just stood there freezing and watching. The creature continued to stalk around that side of my house, leaving deep tracks in the snow that perfectly matched the ones I had seen in my house earlier. Then it started clawing on the walls. It was louder than I would have ever expected. After a few minutes of this, it turned toward the forest and walked off. I was relieved. The effing thing terrified me at the same time. At least this effing thing was gone. Mike, I stepped back inside and was about to shut the sliding door when something pushed me hard. It was from behind me. I fell in the snow on the balcony and turned toward my attacker as fast as I possibly could. Another one of those things was on the ground. It wrestled with its long, gangly limbs to stand up, and once it did, it charged toward me. It leapt over me and landed over the balcony railing. I stood up as fast as I could and I looked below. The effing thing was tossing its legs around again, trying to get back up after its fall. It then got back up and it ran blindly and fast as it could back into the woods. Holy shit. I ran inside and locked the doors. I turned on every light and shut all the curtains. F that. I didn't want to see another one of those damn things, Mike. I don't know what they are, and I simply did not want to see one again. My heart was pounding so hard I was sick. I vomited in my floor, Mike. I was so scared. I've never seen anything like this, and writing this now makes me sick to my stomach. Mike, I had to go to the hospital. I called 911. They took me to the hospital, and they told me wolves had broken into my house, but I knew better. I had seen these things. But that's all they told me. It was wolves. That I needed treatment for PTSD for animals. They started bringing dogs into my room, trying to reintroduce me to dogs. I wasn't afraid of dogs. I knew what I had seen. And then finally, a gentleman shows up in a suit, my doctor, as they called him. And he kept so hard trying to get me to say that I saw dogs. He would show me picture after picture, like I didn't know what I seen. And I would tell him every time, this is not it. I could draw you a picture, and every time I would draw a picture of what I seen, he would laugh and say, you must only remember it lunging toward you. It wasn't walking on two legs. It's probably just because you turned at the right time just to see it jumping and it appeared to you that way. You were probably sleepy. But I know what I saw, Mike. I know what those two things did, and I know they were in my house, and I know they were after me. They were hunting me, and they came into my house. If they wouldn't have been on the slick floors of my house, because all my hardwood floors, that's all I have, Mike. I don't have carpet, I have hardwood floors. They could not get a grip on my floors, and that is the only thing that saved me was the snow, the wetness, and the slick floors. If it wouldn't have been for that, I definitely would have been a mule drug into the woods. But eventually, I had to tell them that I saw a wolf, because I knew that if I didn't, I wasn't going home. You could tell, Mike, they were ready to lock me up. They were ready to put me away, call me crazy, insane, put me in an asylum. It was going down that dark road. They were giving me pills. They were trying to make me so tired that all I wanted to do was sleep. And when I would wake up, they would be there. And when I didn't say what they wanted, it was always, take this pill, take this pill. What are they trying to hide, Mike? Why are they trying to hide it? I even told them that one of these creatures, whenever it was standing there, it had a brand on its hip. It had a brand like a cow would. I told them about this, and they laughed, and they said, people don't brand their dogs. I was humiliated. Mike, these things are out there, and I know what I've seen. And this story needs to be shared. This is so terrible. And people need to know to lock your doors. I hope this saves somebody. Well, that's a terrifying encounter. Having those in your house would be terrifying, knowing that you were asleep and not knowing how long they were in there. Always make sure your doors are locked. Having that door unlocked was a huge mistake. That could have been really, really bad. I mean, if they'd have got you in your sleep, you probably would have been, it's dinner, as we say. If you're still living in the same house, like we always say, lights, 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 I can get rid of that sliding glass door. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I am not a fan of sliding glass doors. A sliding glass door to me is just like a padlock. It only keeps an honest person out. If they want in, they're going to come in through that. Which they're probably going to come in through a regular door eventually anyways also. But a regular door is going to give you time to prepare for what's coming through that door and to be able to meet it with force. That's the main thing about a good solid door, is it doesn't always stop the intruder, but it gives you enough time to react and be prepared for what's coming through that door. Same with your windows, you know. But yeah, that's a scary encounter. I'm glad that you're okay. I'm sure that you're still, having trouble mentally. Call comment, the comments that our viewers will leave. I'm sure they will give you a lot of advice, and we have really good people on our channel. I'm sure that, you know, they'll probably be able to help you with some things. I'm sure there's other people that's had encounters out there, kind of like myself. The way I got past it really is, I try to look at it as, and I know this may not be the way everybody does it, but I look at it as I was always with my granny and them, and I knew that if something came in, they always gave me this sense of peace, saying that they could take care of it. Now, whether they could or not, that's questionable. But I always try to tell myself, you know what? I survived that day. I beat it once, and then I would beat it the next night and the next night. And if I could beat it so many times, then I could keep beating it. But the good Lord's in control of everything in my life, and I just pray for His protection, His hedge around me, His armor on me. And I'm still here today, and I go to the woods and hunt them alone. So pray for that armor and for that protection. Thank you for listening, guys. Thank you for this encounter. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. But until next time, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. Lock those doors. Turn on those lights, guys. Recheck your doors. Get rid of those glass doors. And fortify your homes. Remember, our homes are supposed to be our safe place. So make them our safe place. We'll see you on the next one.